Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
H.O.I.
To all my brothers and the sisters that keep the law and the faith.
Till the chariots slide.
On the highways, byways, pushing commandments to all of my people. In a place where they never were equal. And the people who run it are evil. Shooting us down in the street, poison the food that we eat, poison the water we drink, making it hard to think the devil is playing for keeps. They get the money and go, leaving us stuck on the bottom. Soon as they spot him, they got him. I tell you the devil is rotten. I know that them niggas is scheming and plotting. It won't be forgotten. Yahweh is watching. Soon as he give us the power, my nigga, you know that we getting it poppin'. Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah.
Well, brother, you don't need the mic.
Y'all words, can I just say thank you so he hear me?
Brother, why is it
That's
that
all right, he hear
you
me.
asking
No,
me,
it's all right.
and the brother over here ain't asking? Jake, man. Jake is on a new level. Right. Jake is on a new level. All right,
What do you want me to read? Revelation 1?
Come.
Revelation 1.
So the brother said that he's a sinner. God is going to defend him. But we pull the scriptures where it says God is not going to hear the sinner's prayers, but the holy man that does righteous works of God is going to be heard. So you can't get saved or delivered or expect God to protect or defend you, and you do things against him.
Come on.
That's like you're an enemy and you're expecting somebody that you've been harming and killing and beating to defend you. Right? That's not right. That's not natural order. The Lord doesn't deal with that. You got to be in alignment with the Lord.
That's right.
All right, keep going.
Verse 9. Verse 32. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind?
So it says, in the beginning, can any man open the eyes of one that was born blind? The Lord gives all wisdom.
Come on.
He gives the wisdom to your physicians. He gives the wisdom to your doctors. How to what? To cure and heal people.
Come on.
So in the beginning, when they didn't have that knowledge, could they do it? And when Christ was on the scene before that, could they do it before him? They thought, well, the Pharisees said Christ was casting out and healing people through Beelzebub, through the devil. So people get confused because of what? You got it. That's why the scriptures say you got to do better works than the Pharisees. You got to walk it and talk it. They talk it, but they ain't walking. That's a difference. The Pharisees denied Christ. They said, we got no king but Caesar. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 32. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? Verse 33. If this man were not of God, he could do nothing.
So the man is not of God, he could what?
He could do nothing.
If a man is not of the Most High, he can't do nothing.
Get the mic. Hit the mic. The mic, yeah.
He can't heal. He can't do none of those miracles. He gotta be of the Most High to do that.
Yeah.
You seeing these pastors doing miracle works and things like that? Those are all plays and
You could leave it on there.
They're not really doing that.
Yeah, it's off.
Right? So I see you being adamant, you paying attention, and you looking at that sign right here. Right? So just basis of looking at that sign, where do you see yourself on that sign? Looking at Judah, looking at Benjamin. You see, where do you see yourself on that sign?
What do you call yourself?
What I call myself? Me personally? Well, according to that sign, I will be a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Right, when you go back into history, so-called black people are actually Israelites, or the real Jews that the Bible speaks about. They're the real Jews. When you deal with the apostles, you deal with Christ, you deal with Paul. Paul was a Benjamite. He said he was from the tribe of Benjamin. Now, it's a difference between your pedigree and your lineage and your nationality. Your nationality would be Israel, but Paul was claiming the nationality of Rome. That's why you would think he was a Roman, but Paul was a so-called black man. The Romans were an empire comprised of different nations. They had Egypt, they had the Middle East, and they had Africa in subjugation. So it was different nations in Rome. It wasn't just so-called Caucasians there. So Paul, who was a Jew from Judea, he was actually a so-called black man from the tribe of Benjamin. So Americans are African Americans, which is what am I teaching?
You're teaching.
What I'm teaching, I'm just teaching the Bible. It's a history book. I'm showing that so-called black people are what? The chosen people of Israel.
According to the Bible.
According to the Bible and according to history. It wouldn't make no sense that Moses. These pictures?
No, the book.
The book. Oh, that's the Apocrypha.
What's that speak of?
It's in the 16. If you get the KJV 1611, it's in the book. Those are the 11 books that the Catholic Church took out. They took those books out. 14, Salaki, 14 books. Right? Those books have the Bible, the whole Bible. So any book that's in the 1611, we teach all those books. So sometimes you get a KJV that doesn't have the Apocrypha in it, or you get the KJV, the 1611 with the Apocrypha. So we teach all that. Right? But the important thing is coming back to our nationality and who we are. Right? So as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we think we're black. We think we colored. We think we African American. Don't you think
So that's the most important thing?
very important. Don't you know
Is that
white?
an opinion?
Huh?
Is that an opinion or a fact?
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Says who?
We call ourselves African American. You know a white man could be African
I call
American?
myself that.
Well, us as a people.
That's a fact. So that's a fact.
That's a fact. As a fact because the majority of us call ourselves what? You want to get a job, what waiver you sign? You got to sign African or black. So let's say if I say I'm an Israelite, I want to push out what? You know that black people actually pushed out that they wanted to be called African Americans. At first they were being called colored. So they didn't want to be called colored, black, or Negro. So you got the same power if you know we got the history, we even got the DNA to back up that blacks are the chosen people. Instead of marking African American, you could mark Israelite or Jew. You'll be marking that. You'll be marking you as black. There's no nation called black. You can't fly to black. You don't have a culture. As black people, we had to create our own culture over here. But your real culture is this Bible. Everywhere you go in this book is nothing but you. You want to see some scriptures to prove that?
Prove it. Deuteronomy.
Give me Acts. Give me Acts 13 and 1. And give me what I want. Acts 21 and 21 with Paul. Yeah.
Jeremiah 17:4.
Come on.
I'll hold Jeremiah 17:4.
Yeah, Acts 21 and 38.
Acts 21 and 38.
Give me Acts 13 and 1. So I'm going to give you an example. Now,
So what's your mission?
my mission?
As of today. Like
As
you
of-
know what a 5% is?
Huh?
You know what a 5% is?
Yeah, I know
So you
5%.
know when we come at you and say, what's your mathematics? What's your mission for today?
My mission is the same mission. It's two things. Building a nation and teaching the commandments. As a nation, you can't be built without a law. Black people are lawless people. We don't have no morals other than the ones that were subjugated under America. I'm not worried about you crossing a traffic light and you getting stopped. We worried about the things that we do amongst our community, selling drugs to each other, stealing from each other, interest, all these things that are against the Bible that we still haven't gotten.
The American black people, not the native black people. They have. We want to have no family. We're from America. We don't have no black people. But I was saying the real black people. The real black brother have a nation.
Well, brother, you have a nation. You just had it taken from you.
Not here in America.
Yeah, nah,
Hey,
yeah.
all right, bring that on up.
You made the point though.
Con. Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch.
Now, Antioch is a Greek place. When you deal with actual Greek mythology, Greek mythos, Zeus, when you look at the pictures of Zeus, Zeus is a dark-skinned man with a red beard. Like a red head, he had a red beard. They were black. So Hermes, you see that he's black. Some of them were black. They had Ethiopian people in Greek mythos, right? I'm just telling you that in history. But bring this out.
And teachers as Barnabas and Simeon.
Now Barnabas and Simeon, where you going, brother?
Sorry, my man. It's Ramadan. I got time to pray.
Ramadan. Oh, brother. I should have put, brother.
Ramadan's in November, brother. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do that, brother. Stop it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You did it.
So that means how many Meccas are in America?
Oh,
How
Lord.
many Meccas in America?
You guys have a good one, huh?
Yeah. This guy, get him back on
Brother,
track. Get him on
I ain't worried about no Mecca because you're supposed to pray towards Jerusalem.
Do I? How many Meccas are there in America?
Who was the founder of the 5% Nation?
He calls himself Allah now.
Oh, wow.
Who was
His
the
name is Clarence 13X.
Right.
And that's who you
what happened
follow.
to that man?
Wow.
What happened? How we
Walked out. That what?
Bugged out.
How you got teach? You teach yours, I teach mine.
He claimed to be God, but he got smoked in the park.
Boom.
They took his lights out. All that God, that wasn't Cypher Divine, right?
Boom.
That wasn't Cypher Divine.
Well, brother, we was
got
trying
hit
to
with a 12 gauge to the stomach.
trying to show you some knowledge, and you only got 5% of the knowledge you need. Yeah. You need the other 95%.
Oh, man.
The 5% Nation
They say you only got,
in New York, man.
they say you only got 5%.
We don't have no culture.
Right.
Well, we don't, but we do. And I'm gonna show you that. Brother, black men kill black men because they don't keep the commandments.
That's right.
I'm saying America.
Well, we know that, but the American, the so-called black person in America,
You have no culture.
they stole it from us.
You have no culture.
They stole it from us. They stole our culture, brother. Y'all want to hear the word real quick? Y'all got time for the Bible?
I'll be listening to you as I walk.
Oh, you gonna listen as you walk away?
Wow.
What good that's gonna do to you? Our people, man, you look, and you try to be nice. You try to be nice, man.
They first day out.
Some people are
First day out
lost.
of quarantine and lost their damn mind, man.